Hey YouTube, it's Morgan, aka the Mountaineer. Once again in my basement. It's still a wreck, but I'm not smoking today. You don't see a pipe, but I wanted to tell you after last week's video, I talked about not being a huge fan of the check tools, but this week I found a good use for a check tool. Something a little new. Snuff, nasal snuff. I've been curious about this forever. Back in college, whenever I first started smoking a pipe, actually I placed an order online, and this was back before I guess there was some law about smokeless tobacco and cigarettes in 2009 shipping them. So I ordered some from Wilson's of Shero. Actually, my first copy of Pipes and Tobacco magazine. It was the one with the Jody Davis, which if you've watched a lot of my videos, you probably have seen that was one of my bucket pipes. But anyway, in there was an article about Wilson's of Shero. So I ordered just a 10. I don't know what size or what the snuff was, but I actually didn't receive it. But here recently I've seen Tim and Steven talking about snuff and their snuff boxes and things like that. A couple people on Instagram that I follow are into it, so it's kind of reawakened my curiosity. I read up, and so I placed an order from the UK, and I placed it on the 23rd, and it came in Tuesday, so I think that's about 8 or 9 days, so actually fairly quick. But I ordered 25 different varieties, 24 varieties, 25 total items. One of them I think I doubled up. It was the tote bourbon in this like snuff bullet. But here I have two of my favorites so far: Christmas pudding and crumbs of comfort. This one is like I guess clove or nutmeg. Not being British, I'm not really up on what exactly a Christmas pudding is, but and the crumbs of comfort are spearmint, and I absolutely love spearmint. So anyway, I found some handkerchiefs that I've had for a while, so clean up a little bit, get a little nasal drip. But so some of the brands that I've had the brands that I ordered, I got Wilson's of Shero, Toke, which I've shown two of those, Samuel Gwith, Bernard, Freeborg and Trayer, Sir Walter Scott's, and McChrystal's. I've tried about 13 of the 24 flavors. Some I really like I say, these are kind of two of my favorite at the moment. A couple that didn't do well. I didn't necessarily shoot for what people labeled as beginner stuff. The Sir Walter Scott's, the two I got there, I'm kind of waiting before I try them, but they're actually, one is Latakia and one is something St. James, so I'm really looking forward to trying those, but because they're kind of pipe tobacco related. But anyway, but a couple that I've tried that I haven't been a huge fan of, the Freeborg and Trayer Santo Domingo, and the Bernard, and I'm going to slay this, but Stifa Prisa, I don't know. They just didn't settle well with me. The others have all been good. I've had a little bit of the nasal drippage or whatever, gotten a little bit of a runny nose. I've done my share of sneezing, but I'm not a huge amount. But so far I'm really enjoying it. It's very enjoyable. So anyway, talking about the check tool, using the spoon there, just get a little on there. And this is the crumbs of comfort, so getting a nice spearmint hit. And it's really neat. I mean, you get the scent, a scent and a flavor at the same time, kind of a rush, a little tingly feeling in the nose. I don't know if I have anything on me, but Yep, I did. But see, you got the handkerchief there ready for dusting up, and you know, nose starts running or anything like that. But so I found a use for the for a check tool after all. But so far, like I say, I'm really enjoying it. Um, it's definitely a different experience. A lot of people talk about the nicotine levels and stuff, and I'm not a good judge at all of nicotine. I can never tell what level it is or anything like that unless it's super strong. Maybe this will help, where it's pretty quick to set in. But anyhow, so if you all are interested, leave some comments if you have any tips or advice or anything like that. If you if you've taken snuff before, if you have favorite I don't know if you call them blends or what, but favorite flavors and brands and things like that, I'm very interested to hear. And this will be an interesting journey. Just kind of wanted to get a broad spectrum of a sampler, try it, see if I liked it. Not a huge amount of money. That's another thing. The shipping, obviously, from the UK is the most prohibitive part of it. The snuff itself is like ridiculously cheap. The site I was on, I looked at. I think they had 17.92 flake or something like that on there. And as I'm sure y'all know, the taxes, I guess, over there are crazy. But I think it was like $35 or $36. So I was like, "Ooh!" But I don't think they, correct me if I'm wrong, but in my understanding, I don't think they tax or strictly regulate nasal snuff. So, that's definitely a cool thing. This is tiny. I can't remember. This might be like a 5-gram tin. These little bullets have 1 gram in them, and the way it works, there's a little cup down in here that goes through there, and you hold that up so that the cup is up, and spin the rest of the container up, and tap it to get it a little bit metered out in there, and then spin it back down. There's a little hole in here, so it's like a channel, an air channel, and you just put it in your nose and sniff it. Repeat for the second nostril. It's a lot cleaner. You can kind of get it up in there, and then you don't have to worry as much about having brown stuff. Being a brown nose there, but I'm liking it. But I'll give you a couple quick updates. I had a third interview at the one company yesterday afternoon. It was kind of interesting. It's at a chemical plant, and so I went and had to show up about half an hour to get in through security, and included in that was watching a safety video. And then my main interviewer came in a minivan to pick me up, but to go out there, had to have a hard hat, safety glasses, and carry an emergency respirator. And the safety video talked about how to put the respirator on. It was like, pull it over your head and clear it and all that stuff. Make sure the seal is good, kind of like the gas mask in the Army, to seal out and clear out for CS gas and stuff. But so that was interesting. I think it went pretty well. I should hear pretty soon. I think he said he was going to make a decision pretty quickly. So, I'm crossing my fingers there. Still waiting to hear back from that other company. Still looking at a couple other places to apply to and things like that. But I'm hopeful there. Well, the boys are about to start school next week. Andrew's going to start school for the first time. And Nathaniel's going to go back to the same old school. They'll be in person. Luckily with Andrew, it's in our daycare. And they'll provide aftercare, and they said no matter what, they're always going to have in-person school. So that's good. We have him covered for care. But with Nathaniel, they have a color coding system in West Virginia about the danger level of COVID, kind of reminiscent to me of the terror levels back in the early 2000s. So we're hoping that he gets to go Tuesday, and it's not remote. Currently where I'm in the job hunt, it's not as big a deal, if he has to stay home. But once I get a job, that's pretty worrisome. And so hopefully, anyone else who's facing this, hopefully y'all can get it straightened out as well. Hopefully there are no big spikes or anything. I think kids are so resistant to this stuff that it really shouldn't spike stuff. And my totally untrained and uneducated virological knowledge, but that's on the horizon for next week. But it's Friday afternoon. I'm going to try to get this video out real quick. But anyone who celebrates Labor Day, have a great 3-day weekend, and thanks for tuning in.